Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to today's Sports Pavilion meeting for January 2024. It's exciting to be here. We have a quorum today. We are missing 3 members. I'd like to first off say thank you to Janet Smith. She's had to resign from the committee, but we'd like to thank her for her support earlier in the year. And we will welcome back Ron Ryman to the committee. He'll be at next month's meeting. He wasn't able to make today's meeting, but we'll welcome him back next month. So with that, we do have 3 excused absenteeisms. And with that, we are going to jump right in. And we do have the quorum, and we'll look at the minutes from November's meeting, and if there are no changes or corrections from anybody, the minutes will stand. Karen? Thank you. Thank you. So moving on to 3.01 with the report of the bowling alley from Barry Hardesty. Welcome back, Barry. Happy New Year.
Okay, for this month, I decided, since we closed out to 2023, I compared 2023 to 2022, so 2 complete years. League bowling was up $18,379. Open bowling was negative $10,425. Miscellaneous revenue was up $4,846. And total bowling revenue was up $12,800. Food and beverage was up $17,149. Miscellaneous non-bowling revenue was up $15,044 for a grand total of total bowling revenue $1,035,050 compared to $990,057, which is $44,993. Total games bowled 286,164 compared to 282,894, which is an improvement of 3,270. Lizard Acres Pub was up $3,976. So that continues to head the right way. So that's all. Any questions?
Any questions from the committee? None from the audience? Great, thank you, Barry, appreciate it. And with that, we're going to move into 3.02 for the October-November financials with Cliff. Happy New Year, Cliff.
Thank you, Director Vines. And good afternoon, everyone. It is good to be back and good to be seen. Thank you. Just going to go over we're doing a little catch up here, so the holidays, and so we'll get through November here. Just the numbers that were just reported, Barry did calendar years on those numbers on the operating. Fiscal year. Okay. Calendar. Yes, okay. So make sure. So I was just going to clarify, he was reporting on calendar year in terms of operations. So you may see some numbers that don't quite jive with that on my numbers moving forward, but that's why, on the financial numbers. Okay, just wanted to clarify that. That said, one thing that is consistent or showing on his report is when looking at the revenue, we are down in open bowling and guest bowling. We're down in revenue and down in lineage in those areas. Talking with Barry, one contributing factor to that obviously was the bowling alley being closed in August, but we did really kind of tweak our rules and our policies to make sure we're catering to our residents and our members here in the community, and so we've seen a little impact on that on the outside bowling. So it's just something to keep in mind as we work throughout the year. We're gonna lag there a little bit. We'll hopefully make it up in member and league, which we have, but that is going to impact the numbers a little bit. Which we talked about that when we were going through that stuff last year and going through those policies. With that said, we're still 6,000 ahead of budget for through the month of November compared to budget. On the expense side, we're actually 29,000 ahead favorable, which is always good. So we'll continue to keep those expenses down. Overall, 35,000 ahead, so budgeted to $68,000 loss through November, and we have a $33,000 loss. Looking at compared to prior year, running a little behind on revenue, 4,000, again, closure in August, and a little down on the outside bowling. Also didn't get some lease revenue or some rent revenue in there when we were closed as well. On the expense side, only 2,000 unfavorable, 14,000 in wages and benefits, obviously budgeted, but we had a big bowling pin purchase last year that we didn't have this year. So there's a favorable variance there offsetting that. Overall, 6,000 unfavorable compared to prior year. Talked about it, the open and guest bowling being down. The league bowling revenue is up, which is good. But again, that area is going to be impacted a little bit this year. So in the bowling lineage, we're down 7,800 lines. We are up 6% roughly on the fee per line. And we've talked about it, the outside bowling and then the closure in August impacting those numbers. But again, 7,800 on 300,000 lines of bowling isn't too bad. Talked about the pin purchases last year, creating that positive variance for us. And that's it in terms of the November financial presentation.
Thank you, Cliff.
You're welcome.
I have a question. Can you remind us, please, what was the cost of the pins last year?
I believe it was 12,000.
Thank you. Any
I
other
think that
questions?
number sticks out. I mean, I think we did it every Sports Pavilion meeting.
Is that right? Great, thank you. Excellent. Any other questions from the committee for Mr. Swan? Thank you. Any questions from the audience for Cliff? Okay. Great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I love this, moving right along. Okay, so we're going to move into 4.01 for Lizard Acres update. And before Carl gets started, I just want to point out, because he's then going to roll right into 402 with the capital budget. So before he gets started, I just want to point out that for transparency, in full disclosure, in our packages, you, all committee members, you have a full package for the capital budget that's being proposed so that you can see everything that's being proposed. Okay? And it's posted as well online for any resident that wants to look. Thank you, Carl. Welcome.
Thank you. Welcome back. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Little update on Lizard Acres Pub. I think that was our first agenda line item. No real activity change since November. The December month had other business to attend to, a little bit of personal time away, and the plans, as we have discussed over the last 3 months, are in the architect's hands. So any requests for information or red lines, engineering reviews are being done by the architectural team. So I probably expect something back in February for a discussion in March. But as far as you can see on the screen, that is still the plan that we're moving forward with, and the projected costs that I'll be discussing here shortly. Any questions on Lizard Acres Pub update? Okay. Moving right along, as Director Vines mentioned, you have in your hands the full capital budget. We provide this information to every committee in the same format so that you can see what the rec centers is working on budgetarily for the year. And this package includes a $10,230,000 budget. Specifically related to the Sports Pavilion in this committee is, again, the Lizard Acres Bar Room renovation and equipment. I have no projected cost changes. It is planned for $225,000. And like I said, I'm waiting on for any architectural to make any points of interest known if any of that needs to change, but I'm a little ways away from gathering any of that information, but I still think we're rock solid. So I really don't have any other information to share, but again, for all members of this community that serve on this committee, you get an opportunity to see what our full budget packet looks like. Do you have any questions for me?
No questions from the committee for Carl? No? Any questions from the audience? Super. Thank you, Carl.
All right,
No,
short
I
and
think we are
sweet.
good. Yeah, you require, at this point, there's no action from the committee for you, so we're moving forward.
No, but this is the time, and if
Yeah.
you do have any further questions on the Lizard Acres Pub, I'm happy, I'm here.
I'm good. I am. This looks wonderful, and I appreciate all the work that you and the committee that you've put together have done so far on this. This is outstanding.
Fantastic.
I really appreciate it.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Sorry, turn my mic on. With that, we're going to move into any committee comments. I guess you can all tell, everybody just kind of wants to move on forward. We're moving into the new year. This is great. Paul, anything you want to say? Thank you.
Yes, I have a question for you, Barry. In Cliff's discussion, he talked about the reduction in lineage. You mentioned the reduction in lineage of outside people. I've noticed that there is a significant reduction in outside tournaments. Is that a participating factor in why the lineage is down?
Yes. I don't say it's a major factor, but it's a factor, because I have cut way back. We were doing, maybe 2 a month. Now we've only done 1 so far, and we have another one scheduled coming up, and that's about it. So yes, it does contribute.
Thank you.
Great, thank you. That's great information to have. Thank you. Jim, any comments? No? Terry? Oh. Yeah, no. Yeah, it's still. We're gonna go back. Yeah, definitely. Any, yeah, any comments from the audience? No? Okay. With that, our next meeting is going to be February 14th, 2024. And I am going to adjourn this meeting, yay, at one,
Like a record?
no, not 1:44. But, well, some of us have to be over to Palm Ridge by 3:45. So, thank you.